Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. We've got Game 2 of the Wind Waker Season 7 Challenge Cup Winter Bracket Finals between Sledge and CubeDavid. Tracking today, we have Arctic Fern and Tummeltalk, and commentating alongside me is your average Link. How are you, Yal?
I am, I guess, better now that I've done with, I think, probably my busiest week so far this semester.
Yes, that university life.
Yeah. On the week of Halloween too. Unfortunate. But
yeah, I feel like the thing is, you think, oh, there's like midterms week, but no, like every week is midterms week. Yeah, so we had game 1 yesterday. CubeDavid won, so he is up 1-0.
Yeah.
As we said yesterday, these two players are good friends, very familiar with each other.
Yeah, in fact, this is a rematch from, I don't remember where, but in Mini Blends, they were both in Group Jalhalla and they played each other. I know in my bracket prediction, I predicted the Jalhalla rematch, but this is not the rematch that I was expecting, so very good work from Sledge making it here to winners finals.
Yeah, also, they were in the same Remlets group for Skyward Sword.
True.
So played each other twice. And we are off. So
starting at what looks like Bomb Island.
Yeah, we've got
Paw Prince. Yeah.
We've got FF.
ET's Baron.
Yeah, FF, ET, and Forbidden Woods. We'll see if we have a three-peat of a...
Important to note also is that I believe these runners RA'd to have dungeon entrance rando.
They did, yes.
So, well, the Forsaken Fortress entrance is always vanilla, but the other ones will be interesting to see, especially with the path hints.
Yes. Yeah. It is a Forbidden Woods ET Forsaken Fortress seed.
Yeah, so you could still need Iron Boots for the Wind Temple entrance, for example.
Yeah, what was their starting item?
Grappling hook.
Grappling hook.
Yeah.
They're gonna appreciate that, I think.
Yeah, it means you don't have to worry about it logically for Forbidden Woods. Although, actually...
Looks like a spiky here on Forest Haven chess.
Oh, the interesting thing about Dungeon Entrance Rando is that you don't need Grappling Hook you don't necessarily need it to get into Forbidden Woods, but there are a handful of locations, like I think everything that's Boomerang locked is also Grappling Hook locked, but I'm not entirely sure on that. It's interesting logic that, I've only played one race with Dungeon Entrance Rando, and it was actually a practice race that these two were also playing in, that I decided to join for fun. So not too acquainted with how the entrance rando can shake up the logic, but...
Yeah, not too surprising. Yeah. Cliff Plat.
Did either of them peek the chest on top? Because since they have Grappling Hook, they don't necessarily need storage to get into BPR.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the Forest Haven Island had a spiky. Yeah, they may just do chest storage anyway, though, because...
Yeah, that clip is kind of muscle memory. Yeah, they're both still getting... Oh, wait, no, never mind. David is remembering that grapple is enough.
Yeah.
And it looks like Boomerang is what was stored.
That's a pretty nice item. I mean, it's, not required to beat the seed, but still can be nice. Although they have 2 hinted bows, so the chances that they would have to do Caligamos without a bow are pretty low.
Yeah, it's also worth keeping an eye out. I don't know if either of them are comfortable with doing it, but especially now that they have Boomerang, it might be interesting to see if they go for the Rockspire Super Swim for Mother and Child, because it means you can get the item in the cave without bombs. And since
Yeah,
that's
and
path,
Rockspire is path.
yeah, it's path, but it is a 50-50 because there's also the gunboat. And the unfortunate part about, well, actually, no, yeah, I think regardless of entrance, Leaf will be path to Calidemos, but we could just see a pretty inconsequential item, like, as I mentioned earlier, it could just be Iron Boots if it's in the Wind Temple entrance.
Yeah.
It looks like David's going to open this in case of Joy Pendant, but wrong spoil.
Yeah, it's not a bad play necessarily.
Yeah, it's a little bit different if you already have Grappling Hook, because you can get them pretty easily off of the Koblins, but, you know, if you find it, then I guess you're saving time.
Yeah.
And Sledge is just going to open this up, find a shard, not going to bother super swimming. We'll see what David does.
Yeah, there's not a lot of reason to do any super swims out of here.
Yeah, it's
maybe
not like
if you had, I think if
like,
you had Master Sword, you might think about doing it to break into FF and get that bow.
Definitely not like Season 6, where you had the Western Great Fairy to worry about. So, like, your swim options are basically, you split up the benefit of the old Western Fairy swim into two separate components, where you can get Star Island, which is out of the way, but you still need the items to get in, or you can get Rockspire, which is out of logic, but not particularly out of the way. Looks like the Wind Shrine was the thing.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the Rockspire, like if you're not familiar with the Rockspire swim, you probably don't want to try it.
And Sledgen, it'll be interesting to see if he goes for the trick where you pull one of the bomb flowers on the upper level and do some side hops to get into DRI Cave early, because it did have a hinted hook shot.
That is true, and it was hinted required.
Well, hookshot is always required for the end of the game.
Oh, that's a good point. So we now know where all three of our bows are.
Wow.
Because our other two were hinted, Angular Cave and Phantom Ganon.
Ah, yeah. Looks like he's going for it. Okay. Definitely respectable. And gets it first try. Nice.
Yeah, it's a little slow, but I think if you know there's something useful there, you at least don't feel like you're wasting time.
Yeah, I like this because it also means if he goes to Outset after this, he'll be able to do Horseshoe Cave. Wait, actually, well, that was hinted Baron, but he can do Diamond Step. There are some options if you have Hookshot.
Yeah.
And
Jaboon's Cave is spiky.
Yeah, you can come back for the dungeon entrance, or like Fire Mountain if it comes to that. Can also grab a Joy Pendant here from one of the Bokoblins.
Yeah, if he remembers to do that, that would be pretty smart. He may not. Just because I think it's not something people think about a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Nothing on top of Headstone. Just looked like a skull necklace. Are we seeing 2i?
I think this is Cyclos and then 2i because he's sailing north,
Yeah.
which is reasonable.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the good news is doing the 2i Octo this early means the hint has a better chance of being useful.
Yeah.
But
And actually, with Dungeon Entrance Rando, you know, usually with 2i Octo, there's the chance that you just get a hint, like, let's say you don't have Tot-G required, but the hint says, this location has an Aru's Pearl, which is not required in your quest, and it's like, well, okay. But with Dungeon Entrance Rando, you might actually need the pearls, so...
that is true.
That would be useful info to have.
You know.
David getting the wrong bomb bag, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Crescent is dead. It's a brown chest. Yeah, I did forget about that, the implications of DER.
Yeah, in fact, with Earth Temple Hinted Baron, I wouldn't be too surprised if that is at the Tot-G entrance, just because that's probably one of the more requirement-heavy entrances in the game. Because that's 3 separate items. I think all the other ones are no more than 2 items required.
Yeah, and there is Sledge grabbing Joy Pendant off one of the Bocos here. So we did think about that.
David is opting to use the bow, which is faster than Boomerang, but also more difficult, because you have to manually, if you get Boomerang, you can auto-aim, and there's power bracelets. So that opens up both the Earth Temple and the DRC dungeon entrances.
Yeah. Question then is, you know, where ET, where Forbidden Woods? I can turn Yell up on our side.
I would be very surprised if ET is one of these accessible entrances. If it happens to also be Baron. I guess there could just be like command melody is quite late. But...
yeah. Sledge is okay.
Mailbox has a sub. Okay.
Ah.
Well, we know that's not Baito Mail. Because of the Earth Temple Baron hint, but chances are that sword just like, comes up naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, Sledge can full clear pop right here. May not.
Or was Wizard Cave hinted dead?
It was not. So that's the only thing maybe he can't do.
I mean, you technically.
But you can with Hookshot.
You can use just Hookshot. It's just painful. And thankfully, no longer in Logic.
Yeah, we'll see if he opts to do it because he's here. Pop Rank's not that far, so he may just decide I'm going to put it off. So we got Bait Bag and Spoils Bag.
Yep. Just missing Delivery Bag for bag percent.
Yeah. David unfortunately does not have his Hookshot to check the angular gate. But he knows what's in there.
Yeah.
He just can't get there.
Classic shard on top.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we're seeing the outside play.
Well, yeah. I think the transparent chest was nothing.
Yeah. I wasn't looking, so I'm not sure. But interesting doing Windfall at night. Since we know that we don't have to worry about Mila. Just going to prepare the windmill for later, but as we all know, it's futile because anyway. The one location that it unlocks is just gonna be a treasure chart 21 anyway.
We know you hate creep, yeah. It's okay.
I'll say it again. It's not hating, it's being realistic. There's an important distinction.
It's okay.
The Sledge was
Being a
pretty
big
interesting.
creeper is not about logic. It's about emotion and hope and unrealistic hope.
Well,
and the memes.
Back to reality here. Sledge is going to be in an interesting position because he can both do Diamond Step, but also the areas to the east of Outset are of interest as well because there's power bracelets for the ET entrance. There's 2i Octo. There's the top of Angular. So there could be room for an interesting, maybe a safe scum of Diamond Step. Not sure what'll.
Yeah, it'll depends.
Also, unfortunately, has the wrong time of day to yeet the pig.
Rip.
But fortunately for the pig, Sledgen is deciding not to do the damage exploit.
Yeah, I mean with 3 hearts and
it is pretty risky.
Regular sword, it's pretty risky that you get killed because doesn't the pig do 3 hearts of damage?
Yep. It's the most damaging attack in the game as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
There's a pearl. Again, I still don't know if it'll be useful.
Yeah, and Maggie's letter, which David can't do anything with.
Not yet. And a treasure chart on Big Pig.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, so Pawprint was path to Helmarock, so that could be Spoils Bag or Bait Bag.
True. There was nothing on BPR. There was nothing on
Top of Headstone. So it's not...
Needle Rock is hinted barren. I don't think it can be Bait Bag, then.
No, because Big Pig had nothing, too.
Yeah. So
it's definitely
I think
Delivery
it has
Bag.
to be Spoils Bag. Or, well, unless
Spoils Bag.
Unless Wizard Cave has something that we haven't seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll also be really curious to see what is on ankle, because that's the only check in Tingle Island region.
Yeah. I guess if Sledgen thinks about that hint logic, it's kind of an awkward situation to be in because to turn in the Joy Pendant to Miss Marie, you have to also do Hide and Seek, which means you either don't do Lenza Door Cancel or you do it without a Pictobox. Which either is not really ideal unless you're committed to orphaning Pompey and Vera.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they decide to do. Because there's a lot open to them still.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 whole dungeon entrances. Although, actually, I think even if they find Earth Temple, they can't do anything because no Command Melody and no Leaf.
If you find Forbidden Woods,
you can get like 1 or 2 chests without.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna want Leaf before you enter either of those dungeons.
And actually, finding Earth Temple wouldn't matter because it's barren. But
yeah.
Yeah,
we will see them zoom through Earth Temple. Unless they don't have Leaf and Bombs, then
that would be impressive. Considering you logically need both of those. Unless we get like a weird edge case with the Forsaken Fortress Dark Portal logic, but I feel like
I don't think that's in logic though.
It is in Season 7.
Oh, okay.
It's an obscure trick. Basically,
like, but that's only to get into Forsaken Fortress.
Yeah, the requirements of the tracker are like a ridiculous combination of like bombs or full Master Sword and full Triforce and hookshot or Leaf and boomerang.
Yeah.
I've had it happen more than once where there's been bombs inside of FF, but definitely still pretty rare. Alright, well, time to find out what's in this entrance.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out just for the information.
Yeah. You only have like a 40% chance of it being a dungeon you need, but you're already right here.
I mean, if it's Baron ET, it's good info to know.
Okay.
And sure enough.
Yeah. Interesting. I guess we can expect command melody to be really late in logic or something else that's specific to Earth Temple. Because this entrance is Sphere 1, because Power Bracelets were Sphere 0, and yet the dungeon is still nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely pointing to command melody pretty late. Because you need command melody to get, logically, to get through the first room. Sorry, I'm trying to turn Yal up as much as I can.
I'll try scooting a bit forward. I'm working with a laptop mic here.
Yeah, I turned him as high up as I can on our end. So hopefully he's loud enough.
Ooh, okay, barely making that snipe in time. Because if you don't get that, well, I guess since he has Boomerang, he could target it through the body, but you can't shoot arrows through the Big Octo. So you gotta make your shots count.
David having a little trouble. I've turned Yal up as much as I can on our end. So the most he could do is turn up his, if he can turn up his gain, but
or like turn up my natural volume slider, aka talk louder. I guess naturally kind of soft spoken. Anyway, it looks like David is originally planning on doing the trick that we saw earlier, but remembered that he already has power bracelets, so not going to be necessary. And then I imagine probably checking the dungeon entrance afterwards.
Yeah, with power bracelets, I think you probably should.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
we know on our end it's only a 1 in 4 chance of being Forbidden Woods, but still very well could be.
Sledge, because he's got hookshot, actually doesn't need to climb up angular.
With the right angle, you can just snap your way up there.
Yeah, should be able to get this.
Picks up the shards. So I feel like at this point, there's really not much to be done except turn in the spoils bag item, which could be... Actually, both runners have access to Wizard Cave 2, so no matter what, they have access to the path item. But they're both not really great checks.
Yeah, I wonder if David is going to remember to pick up a joy pendant here.
Yeah, has the grappling hook equipped, so...
Yeah.
And here's Boating Force Cave, which is less a combat cave and more a dodge the mini bones cave, but gets the bow shots in before he can get interrupted.
Yeah, we do have a spiky here, which is our last Tingle statue. So we're gonna see what our path item is on ankle.
Okay, so now that we know the entrance is vanilla, and that unless the placement just got really unlucky with Earth Temple, it's... I guess it's probably just a shield, or maybe. Oh, we'll have to see.
It could be command melody.
Could be command melody. Could be a shield. Could be hammer. Could be a second bow. Which
No,
would mean...
we know where the other two bows are.
Oh, right. Well,
Um,
it was Phantom Gain. It could be a sword.
why is ankle?
Oh
not...
wait, no. You have to save Tingle first.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very easy to forget, especially in Season 7 when you start with 2 Tingle statues. No, you cannot get that check until you save Tingle on Outset. Or on Windfall, rather.
Yeah, we are going to see David come back to Paw Print, to Wizard Cave. With a bow, this is less bad.
Yeah. It does require a lot of arrows.
But he's got
24 at
30.
least. But
And since it's hinted path, you know there's a decent chance that this is something.
and if not, then you know that you have to do Miss Mutiny.
Yeah, which is good info to have.
Although I guess in David's perspective, that's not necessarily true because he hasn't done Big Pig.
That's a good point.
But from the omniscient perspective,
I mean, he's going to do Miss Marie before Big Pig here.
maybe, possibly.
Sledge having a little trouble breaking into Islet.
It's reasonable, but he also would be able to check the dungeon entrance at the same time, and like I mentioned earlier, doing Miss Marie requires doing hide and seek, which puts Lenzador cancel into question. Oh well,
And...
there's bombs, so never mind.
Well, that is our path then, for sure.
And hammer on Islet.
Yeah. So whenever David gets that, well, he still can't do all of FF because he still needs Master
hammer.
Sword.
Yeah, you need Master Sword. It would be pretty unfortunate if, let's say, like the Helmer Rock Heart Container somehow locks the other swords and you have to come back.
Yeah, gonna apologize in advance if you have some frame dropping or lag issues. David's connection is not always the best, so we might have some stream buffering. So we're gonna see what is
Diamond Step from Sledge in here, and David. Oh yeah, David's doing Rockspire because that was also path.
Yeah, and he can, with bombs now, he can get both checks.
And there's Leaf. So,
That definitely is Path to Kalidamos.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure with, even inside the dungeon, regardless of entrance, it's trivially path.
Yeah, I think Leaf is required to traverse the dungeon, logically. Also, will make Rockspire a little easier.
You don't have to blow
David did not set his wind up.
Yeah. Looks like it's just gonna do this and unfortunate drop off. I believe it's technically possible with really good leaf pumps to get into this cave without bombs, but the main benefit of having leaf normalies is if your wind direction is good, you can skip blowing up the middle boulder by just leaping around it. And of course, gonna equip Boomerang because
It's a lot easier to kill the key.
Yeah, just enter this cave and just mash whatever button Boomerang is bound to.
It's not logically required to do this, but it does make it a lot faster. Probably should tell people who are photosensitive to avert.
Yeah.
That.
Not as bad as a super spin.
No, but it's
a lot of
movement.
A lot of noise too. Oh
Hurricane
no! Oh, hurricanes!
Runners are going to be
the worst item. That. At least there's Jalhala.
And
Ghost Ship chart as well. So
yeah,
both of the reskinned treasure charts. Well, I guess there's also like the other charts, but 2 reskinned charts in the same room.
We hope neither of our runners uses it accidentally. Yeah, and David is going to go check out probably the dungeon here before he does this. He'll do the dungeon and then the small island after.
Yeah, I would guess. I want to say, yeah, with the right wind direction, I think you can do it this way. You can also get to the tree branch. I don't know if that was hinted. You can get the tree branch.
It was.
Oh yeah, not required.
It was Cabana Deed unrequired. That's why Sledge has that marked on his personal tracker.
Oh well.
So much for dungeon entrance, Rando.
Yep. Both.
I'm checking the race room again, and I definitely enabled it.
I mean, yeah, they have the trackers set up for it.
That's funny. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and David is gonna be able to full clear.
But now I want to like figure out what the chances of that happening are, because the existence of Forsaken Fortress makes this an interesting problem.
So Leaf was on the gunboat in Roxfire, which is locked behind bombs on Wizrobe Cave.
So let's see. There are 20 dungeon combinations with 3 dungeons, of which 10 of those have Forsaken Fortress. For the ones that don't have FF, you need to have all 3 of them match the entrance.
So Iron Boots are gonna unlock absolutely nothing this seed. Maybe Ice Ring.
But we know the other's Ice Ring, so
logically locks one thing.
Logically, it gets something.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, yeah, there definitely, there's a difference in opinion on this, but there are definitely runners who say like, full clear your paths as early as you can, and that, for now, has helped David a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas Sledge is chasing check density a little bit, which makes a lot of sense.
Well, also, after finishing up with Windfall, he will be positioned to go finish up Paw Print.
That's true. He may go to Tingle Island first. We'll see. He should probably do Paw Print, but...
Yeah, because Tingle is a direct warp, so...
Yeah.
We'll also be doing Lens of Door Cancel. Probably thinking that Miss Marie has the path item.
Yeah, so he will figure that out.
Trying to get the kids close enough to... Well,
there we go.
Unless,
maybe Miss Marie is our... Maybe Miss Marie has our sword or something?
No, because the path hints are just to defeat the boss. You don't need Master Sword
to
defeat the boss, so...
That's
the fact that bombs were not inside of FF means that whatever is on Miss Marie can't be a path item at this point. It would be fascinating if it
Okay.
were a sword. Speaking of sword, there's
Yeah.
one.
Where was the hammer that...
It was an eyelet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so David will get that eventually.
David also burned his chest storage collision by opening that chest, and so now has to get this the old-fashioned way.
You hate to see it.
Facing one of Wind Waker's plentiful, annoying enemies, the Pea-Hat.
Is there a Zelda game where P-hats are not annoying?
Skyward Sword, but they're not enemies. They're just...
They're annoying in a different way. In one place, at least.
I feel like the Skipper's Retreat Pea-Hats are only annoying because of the collision that's in the way and the fact that they're on a cycle. I think on their own, they're not that bad.
That's fair.
But anyway,
I mean, Twilight Princess, aren't they also not enemies?
yeah, and nothing in Lenza's house, so this could be very not great for Sledge if Pompey and Vera has something. Although
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if because we know Minenko is nothing, so there could just be like a Pictobox in the Barren Earth Temple if all of the Pictobox locked things are nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. There's our first shield. Logically, at least need one more to clear Earth Temple. But it's interesting. Yeah, bottle on Miss Marie.
And a shield.
But that can't be path.
Yeah, no, that can't. Like at best, it unlocks a bow, but yeah, like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hesitant to use the word this early, but this is feeling like a quick seed.
Yeah,
because
if
you're gonna get to go mode ET. FF is pretty quick. We're getting a lot of items to get through ET early.
We know where both shields are, which lock a bow.
And we know where all the bows are.
Yeah. We also know all of the swords except for one. Well, I guess we don't know which specific mail check it's on, but we know that the sword will come up eventually, and barring, like, let's say it's on Kamali Mail and they have to look for Ferrora's Pearl.
We don't have delivery bag yet.
Yeah, we don't have delivery bag, so it can't. We can't turn a note to Mom for that mail item. Another spiky here. Oh, okay, well, there's the
two swords in.
Yeah.
This is looking like a fast seed.
Yeah, with the right sword mail placement, we're potentially just looking at finding the last couple Triforce shards.
Kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Sledge is going to get his bomb bag here.
David is going to trust this chest that it is a big key, but of course it's a small key because why not, right?
Yeah, we don't know if anything locked by the small key is required.
Well, no, there was a shield on Mothula mini boss, so.
Okay.
Yeah, like typically the storage route through Forbidden Woods skips the need for a small key, so it's really just when you find a key chest, it's a 50-50 gamble. If it's a small key, which does pretty much nothing, Or if it's big key, which means you don't have to do the big key skip, which is nice.
Yeah.
The really unfortunate part is that the most natural route through Forbidden Woods leaves precisely one chest remaining after you do this basement part, which is the double Mothula chest. And that completely screws with your ability to like figure out where key placements are. Like, for example, if David, assuming that he hasn't gotten the big key yet, which I would assume so, considering he went for the other key chest.
Yeah, I don't think he has it.
If David saw the small key and didn't, and the like double Mothula chest didn't exist, he could skip getting this big key chest by knowing that it's a vanilla big key. But sadly, there's one more chest to think about. Wallet. Okay. Wallet path.
Huh.
Wallet mail or Tingle mail from completing Forsaken Fortress.
That is interesting.
I'm gonna check the easier one first. Ah, there's command mail.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep, fair enough. Wow, okay, so thinking about that, we have the entrance, we have collective knowledge of where the mirror shield is, we have collective knowledge and ability to access fire and ice arrows, we have the hammer, we have command melody, and yet Earth Temple is still barren.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a shard casino.
Yeah, it's pretty much a shard casino at this point. I mean, the runners still have to trace each other's footsteps, but...
Yeah, I can't remember where the Tingle statue that Sledge has that David does not is.
I want to say... It was something early on, because I know he tried to pick it up without saving Tingle first.
Yeah.
Was it... It might have been inside... No, not that stuff. It was... Oh, it might have been boating course. No.
Huh.
I'm not sure. It was something not too far in, though.
This is just for your information. We're 41 minutes in, and Sledge's tracker, mind you, this includes Barren Earth Temple, I assume, but it's 30 checks accessible, 45 remaining. Yeah, this is a fast game to clear, but even then, it's they are moving through the seed.
And there very well could also be like a Ferror's Pearl casino for the sword in the mail, but I feel like the chances aren't super likely. There's like there's wallet mail, which Sledge already got. There's actually
Grandma mail.
Yeah, there's grandma mail, and there's note to mom mail, which we don't have the delivery bag for. The other thing I'm thinking about is I'm pretty sure the dungeon mail checks count towards the dungeon for Baron purposes. Do they count towards the dungeon or for the mailbox for item hints? I don't actually know.
You are asking the wrong person here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if anybody in chat is aware. Because Forsaken Fortress has 2 different mail checks associated with completing it. You get the letter from Errol, and you get the letter from Tingle. So...
Yeah, I mean, as soon as David gets the hammer, he's going to go clear FF.
And there's another shard. Sledgen, I think... Well, okay, Sledgen might be hesitant to go to FF without Master Sword, so probably goes to... Or at least tries to check the Forbidden Woods entrance. And then upon...
Yeah, and he did get the leaf. I know it's not... I don't think it's marked, but he did grab it, so he can full clear.
Yeah.
And so I think he's going to just head to Forest Haven. Yeah. So we're now going to see them basically do what the other one did for the last however long.
Well,
David might not.
Yeah, David's doing, it looks like Bomb Island, which we haven't seen yet.
Everyone's favorite.
Yep.
But with Hookshot, it's a little better.
It's marginally better. Good shooing away the pea hat.
I will be really curious to ask them what they thought of the vanilla entrances when we finish the scene off.
Yeah, now Sledge knows that all of the entrances that are relevant are vanilla.
And that's junk in Bomb Island.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, once David gets the hammer, I think he is just going to do FF. Because that's going to unlock his Fire and Ice, which unlocks a few things.
Yeah.
I know, though, he does have a lot. I guess he doesn't have a lot in logic on Windfall yet.
Yeah, it's mainly hide and seek and the joy pendant turn in.
Yeah.
Which we'll have to do eventually because there's Mirror Shield on Miss Marie, but...
He's doing this with Boomerang and not Bow.
Yeah, with Boomerang, it's in some parts easier because you get to lock on to the crystal, but it also means if your cursor happens to go in front of a mini blin, it'll target the mini blin instead, which means your Boomerang will probably be too low to hit the switch.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we're going to see David warp to FF right after this.
Sledge is going to void out to find out what was stored on...
Oh, this is the Tingle statue, not the hammer.
Okay, it was here, okay.
Was the hammer... Oh, the hammer was on Islet.
Hammer was Islet, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen Islet, Great Fish... But I think because Tingle was hinted, we're going to see that.
Yeah. Although it's kind of like...
We might see him, though, do Great Fish and
matter.
Islet.
Doesn't really matter how you do those sequentially because they both have warps.
Yeah. I'm thinking we might actually see him do Great Fish and Islet just because he's close.
Okay, so... We haven't seen Bomb Mail either. I forgot that was a thing, but it's nothing. And we'll also be forced into getting the known useless Orca Mail.
It's funny how Orca is screaming at you in print.
Yeah, I want to say it's probably because he's like old and needs to write large to be able to see it, but it's very easy to read as screaming. Yeah, I don't know what's going on regarding...
Yeah, I have turned up his audio as high as I can on our
my mic
computer.
Is not usually that quiet.
And I'm not noticing that it's that quiet on my personal mic. I promise, we've been told and we are trying our best here. But basically his mic is turned up as high as it can go on Discord.
I'll keep trying to lean forward and all that.
Yeah, we are, this is not working with professionals in professional audio. We really do try our best, but mic quality is obviously varying. Oh, David is going to eat the pig.
Yep, because it's daytime.
Yep.
This guy is
So-
around so that you can get the right skew. Ooh. Or wait, no, never mind. That was just a peek. Very nicely done. In fact, the pig is even in a good position. Usually when I try to do that, it ends up like on the shore, and it's kind of scary. It's like, no, don't go into the water, don't go away.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that happen, but it's... And I don't even know if it's possible, but just thinking about it is scary.
God, where was the hammer?
Islet of
Oh,
steel.
yes. We keep saying that. I keep forgetting.
Sledge is going to find a mirror shield here, so we'll be able to pick up the fire and ice arrows from Angular after this.
Yeah, I mean,
We're just...
we're looking for Triforce shards, really.
Yeah, Sledge still has to get the one on Small Island, and David is missing one that Sledge has, evidently. I think there was one in Diamond Step, she's about to go to. But that means they'll have 6, so they're just looking for 2 more, and depending on where items are placed, delivery bag of Aurora's Pearl for that sword in the mail.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Because that could be the one really tricky item here.
Okay, so Sledgen is doing the boomerang trick to see that dungeon secret.
Yeah, David did it too and picked up a heart container.
Yeah.
Nice bomb push there.
I think Sledgen was seeing the sparkles, which indicate it's a spoil or a heart piece or something like that. And there's the shard from Diamond Step. So... Okay, judging by the leap equip, I assume this is a Great Fish Warp coming up? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to, sooner or later, get the hammer. And then, I feel like he doesn't have much left that's not Forsaken Fortress. So...
Looking at his tracker, yeah, he's pre-marked Islet, so I assume he's going to do that next.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like a brown chest, so nothing on Great Fish.
Peek that earlier as being... Or, wait, no, I'm thinking of a different seat. I was thinking Risk that happened earlier today. Unless he did peek it and I'm misremembering, but either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you don't peek Great Fish a lot. Like...
Yeah, especially not without delivery bag.
Yeah, people just don't tend to go, but I think David is running low on checks, and he'll be incredibly happy when he gets the hammer here.
And good bomb push flip on the Sledge side to get to big key chest. Because the alternative is you have to deal with the flower, which feels like it had Nintendo intern program its physics, or you do leaf pumps. Seriously though, like, why does it not go forward half the time when I blow the leaf? It's so frustrating.
Yeah. And we're 100% going to see David warp to FF here.
Yeah, you have the choice of doing hide and seek or FF. You just do this.
Especially because clearing FF also unlocks a few things.
Yeah, you're going to get fire and ice from the Phantom Ganon. You're going to possibly get the sword from the mail. Again, I'm not sure how that works for item hints, but according to chat, it counts for the mailbox.
I assume the tracker region. If it's the mail and the tracker, that probably matches.
Well, yeah, but there's also like, for example, the fact that Earth Temple is barren means that Baito mail is also nothing because it's unlocked from completing the dungeon.
Oh, okay.
And if you have, let's say you get Headstone hinted barren and Earth Temple is in the vanilla entrance, that also means Earth Temple is barren. So I think that might just be special treatment for barren hints, and item hints work how you would expect, but
yeah, I don't specifically know, obviously, with this randomizer.
having a bit of trouble with Kalidamos here.
This is gonna be our fire and ice arrows.
Although I imagine he will save this to store to get up to the top.
Yeah. Which is pretty common here.
Yeah. I'm dreading the day that will come where I have to do Forsaken Fortress with neither Master Sword nor Leaf, nor a grappling hook for that matter. But it's still logical if you have hookshot to get to Helma Rock.
It's another spiky, which we're going to see him store.
Yeah, this one's nice to store because you can just void out and go back where you were. And it is... Well, actually, I don't even think there are any items that would visually show up that we haven't seen.
So... I didn't see anything.
Yeah,
so I wonder if it's a mail item. Which would only be...
I mean, it could also be a shard, because we haven't seen...
Oh, yeah.
Or a pearl. No, it was a shard, because he has the full Triforce. Okay.
Okay.
So...
Wow.
Wow. So, again, like... Depending on where that mail sword is, we might be in no mode on Restream.
Yeah. We know, obviously, David has to go...
The Pictobox, yeah, Pictobox is really good for him because that'll direct him towards doing hide and seek and thus turning in the Troy Pendant.
Yeah, he's gonna have a pretty efficient windfall clear at this point.
Wow, and okay, finally a non-spiky chest.
Yeah, I mean, we... yeah, it's kind of wild, this seed. Like, go mode Earth Temple is pretty quick. And yeah, I mean, if David gets the sword on the mail here,
if David gets the sword in the mail and checks Miss Marie, I think that's probably a win condition. I would say
because Miss Marie had
Mirror Shield.
That's right. I think he's going to, because I think Windfall is by far his most checked depth location.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a win condition at this point because Sledge still has to do Forsaken Fortress, and will also after soft resetting away a Bomb Island when he sees that it's nothing, will go south and grab the Fire and Ice from Angular, I imagine. Which means he's going to get baited into clearing a possibly useless ice ring. Again, could still be a Ferrari's Pearl that we'd need.
Yeah.
We'll have to do Creeb, Transparent... Well, I don't think Transparent Chest was... Well, I'm not sure, but... Yeah, there's potential for there to be a big set of useless locations that Legend has to go through.
Yeah, that is tricky.
I'm not going to see a soft reset.
He might not have saved outside, so he may Might have been a while since he saved.
Yeah, oh, there's also Ghost Ship here. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, we know Ghost Ship has nothing. He does not.
Well, I mean, again,
It could still lead to the mail.
Question mark about the mail sword, but
yeah.
Chances are, well, actually, assuming that Errol and Tingle Mail count towards that, I think it's pretty much 50-50 at this point, because we have four mail checks.
So Chroma Q, that is, Yal said that is correct. That
yeah. So if Earth Temple is barren, letter from Baito is nothing. Same way with FF and the 2 mail checks associated, and with Orca Mail and... Oh, okay. So for Ora's Pearl, we
will check another mail soon.
Yeah, because there's a mailbox right here on Bomb Island, so... Oh, not going to check it for now. Oh, it's going to do FF. Okay. That's fair.
That's good for him, I would say.
Yeah. Although... Here, did we get Star Island hinted dead? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So... I think... This is still pretty much in... David's favor, I would say, unless the sword is on Kamali Mail.
Yeah. Also, happy 1 hour, everyone.
Yeah, hard to believe.
Please go follow our runners, and thank you to our 2 trackers, Arctic Fern and Tomel Talk, as well as Yal for co-commentating with me. It is hard to believe we have this much an hour in.
Ooh, and first try snipe.
That is a hard trick. I feel like I see people go for it and miss it all the time.
Yeah, I'll go for it if I know the transparent chest is spiky, and I want to, like, let's say, play Song of Passing right after checking Creed.
Yeah, I mean, because David is at nighttime, this makes a lot of sense to do Creeb. Even though we know Creeb is unlikely to have anything. Although maybe it's delivery bag, which is required.
Yeah, it's like, it's either delivery bag or it's not useful. Although, David still doesn't know that. Because
he will pretty soon.
He hasn't found the mirror shield.
Yeah.
But as usual, Creeb has nothing.
It's okay, but Creebers will keep creeping.
And we're gonna see Lenzador cancel here, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Slowly but surely...
Will we see him check the mail here first? Yeah.
Yeah. There's the sword.
Okay.
I feel like this is pretty much David's race to lose at this point. Maybe?
Probably, but I think it's actually pretty close. Because... I mean, Sledge at this point knows he has all of his Triforces. I guess, he is going to full clear FF, but he is going to check the mail right after. David is ahead, but it's not...
Yeah, maybe not as clear cut.
It depends how long it takes David to do all of this, I would say.
Yeah.
Because getting to Miss Marie and giving her the Joy Pendant is going to take some amount of time. I mean, the big thing is Sledge has to go check his mail right away for this to be close.
Yeah, I feel like... Definitely will, I would say, because especially with Aurora's Pearl, that's like a 3/4 chance of finding the last item you need there. So...
Yeah, I mean, I think because mail was hinted, Sledge will know to go check it, especially because he got the Picto.
Well, the Picto doesn't really mean much for him.
That's fair. I mean, it's something that might push him back to Windfall.
We could see. We could also see a warp to Forest Haven because it's right next to Angular.
And you'll
There's
check
also,
mail there.
and there's a mailbox. So
yeah.
Legend is also missing. Oh wait, no, yeah, it was the sword that was on the mail. Right.
Yep. How long does Go Mode ET take?
It depends because like, if you go for the roll clip, you save time, but it's risky. They're going to have light arrows, so that's nice. Do either of them have soup? Did Sledge save Grandma?
I don't know if either of them did.
That's not ideal.
It'll definitely make endgame a little slower.
Gonna be at the whims of magic drops.
Yeah, I mean, it will for Puppet Cannon. It'll be a little rough.
Well, I was thinking for ET as well because you're using the leaf a fair amount.
Oh yeah.
And light arrows in the Valhalla fight.
David also still does need to go to Miss Marie.
Yeah,
he'll do it after this. He is probably a couple minutes ahead of Sledge at this point.
Yeah, and in fact, I don't see it happening just because the other mail is pretty quick to check, but the fact that he has a fairy means that there's also Grandma mail to think about. But we know that it's not that. We'll definitely have to... Oh, another thing we forgot about. David doesn't know where Earth Temple is.
Oh, you're
now,
right.
Headstone is probably the fastest entrance to check, but there's also Gale Isle, which is right next to here. So
that is going to set him back a little. He probably will check that.
Wait, yeah,
first.
I forgot about that. Yeah, this is definitely
this
closer than I thought.
Yeah. But I think he's going to go to Angular first and pick up his... Like, I think he's going to do Angular and check Headstone first.
Well, Angular and Headstone aren't, like, super close to each other, so...
That's fair.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I feel like Headstone is probably the fastest entrance to check here. Like, DRI, you have to go through a million loading zones. That one's not very fast.
Yeah, but he is in... I mean, I guess he doesn't... He should know he's in Go mode because he can get into every dungeon. He knows where his light arrows are. Because light arrows were directly hinted. So... What, like, it's the same with Sledge. As soon as he gets this sword, I think we can mark him in Go mode. Yeah, we are going to see Angular first. Getting 2 bows hinted was great. Yeah, Sledge actually may be ahead here.
Yeah, it very much depends on which entrance David checks first, because Sledge will have to go to Angular as well.
Yeah. And
this... Nothing.
Also nothing.
And
yeah, now
sword.
Sledge is in Go mode.
Yeah. So I think...
This is a close race.
Yeah, I think if David goes to Headstone first, then he retains his lead.
If you check somewhere else,
if he
then
checks
Sledge
Gale
takes a
Isle
slight lead
first, then that's I think the entire lead is gone then.
Yeah, we at least, I guess they don't. Sledge knows he's in go mode. David does not.
David knows that he can. Oh wait, no, yeah, he might think that the top G entrance is required.
Yeah,
I
like
feel
until he
definitely-
gets the dungeon, he technically is
I
not
feel
in
like
go.
you definitely check your entrances first. Okay,
Okay.
he's going to headstone, so I.
Yeah, then he is
Which
definitely
means
in
it's-
go mode. Sorry, our trackers marked it and then unmarked it. I think we can mark both of them in go mode. But this is still a pretty close race. I mean, I think they're entering this dungeon a minute to 90 seconds apart. Tomahawk, I'm not doing it now. That's valid. You can wait till he enters the dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is still time to be made up, especially since neither of them have soup, but that actually is in David's favor because he has more magic. Unless Sledgen save warps out of nice sail. Unless Sledgen save warps out of this location to get magic back.
All right, so David enters at 109.49. Although I think I'm just trying to check the synchronization. Yeah, so
Accidentally.
So it was 109.49 when David enters Earth Temple. We'll see what time it is when Sledge enters. But it's going to be about a minute and a half.
David going for command melody skip here. Definitely more valuable to get if you're doing go mode and you're comfortable doing the roll clip. But it looks like he'll opt to take medley with. So Sledgen has room to make up time if he does the roll clip to get past the first song stone. Because it takes a pretty significant amount of time to bring medley all the way over and play the song. But yeah, David now has a pretty notable magic deficit. And neither of them have soup, so...
Yeah, magic will be tight.
No soup alone, honestly, makes this...
And I think David is at least looking to see if the boss key is here. Just...
Oh, well, no, David needs to store a chest to do go mode.
Oh, right.
So you typically just store this one and go forward.
Yeah. So
I guess
I didn't look at the exact time, but it was about a minute and a half lead that David had.
There could be, I guess, a wacky route where, like, instead of storing this chest, I think you can store one of these doors and then take the other one, and then you'll, like, go out of bounds. Okay, interesting. Is going to go for the roll clip, but I guess forgetting that medley is not required for the next part if you have Mirror Shield. Wait, David? Okay, was lining up to do left side for a bit.
Gotta be muscle memory.
Yeah. Couldn't be me. And I am a always do middle first, except in exceptional circumstances. Alright.
Yeah, this is the tricky roll clip.
Yep. Good. Popped up a little bit too far away from the corner there to try. A little bit too late on the roll. There we go.
And gets it.
Just needs to make it in there, and we're here.
Yeah, I mean, this, we're still at the point where, like, puppet cannon execution is going to matter.
Yeah. Especially with no soup. There's even the potential... Sledge... Okay, almost revealed that chest with storage, which would have made it become inaccessible. Need to get your storage afterwards.
We'll we'll see another roll clip here.
That one's
Or
just a ledge
leaf.
drop clip. And is going to opt to take medley here, so that's widening the gap a fair amount. But again, there's lots of room for variance in a soupless endgame.
And drops medley off. And I do think to some extent, like, yeah, you're losing time, but if you feel safer doing it.
Oh, yeah. And doing another ledge drop clip here to get past this songstone. And now all that's left is to clip through the door frame.
Yep.
To skip needing big key. I guess gonna open this warp pod.
Yeah, I think as a safety, it's a good idea. Like, just in case, God forbid, you die.
Or you like fail pulling a leaf here or something.
Yeah.
Come back. But gets that nicely, so. The nice part about having light arrows is I don't know why they programmed this in, considering there's never a point in vanilla where you have light arrows fighting Valhalla, even in the rematch, because that happens before you get the light arrows.
It probably just has to do with the way they coded it to work.
Yeah, maybe it counts.
Like, it's probably very.
It's like
it wouldn't surprise me if it's similar to what they did in MM, like similar coding.
Because in MM, you can't use light arrows to like reveal things that require light being reflected, like the angular chest.
Huh. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know then. Definitely just a programming oversight.
Yeah, or they like, I don't know, use some kind of elemental enum, and it happens to be applied to both the arrow and light beams. But
and
really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. The purple chews are also the same way. Well, purple chews just get vaporized. They don't turn to stone. So I don't think it's the same. But it might be similar. Oh yeah, that's right. There was no hurricane spinning in this. Although the fact that they don't have soup, this might be like the one case where you actually use hurricane spin. It's a bit of a magic investment, but it means you don't have to do quick spins on the pose.
Yeah, pretty good fight from David here.
Not going to opt for hurricane spin. And yeah, already on our way to Hyrule. Very, very early on.
Yep, this was a jet seed.
Yeah, I feel like Forbidden Woods, Forsaken Fortress, Earth Temple with Earth Temple Hinted Baron is probably the fastest combination you could ask for. Especially with vanilla entrances, considering the entrances aren't that bad to get to, so...
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be the first question I have for the runners, is what did they think of the dungeon entrance rando?
Yeah, because there is very much... I feel like the fact that light arrows were at Angular probably saved David, because if he already had them, or they were, let's say, I don't know, known on Wizrobe Cave and you somehow hadn't gotten them yet, he's probably checking Gale Isle first.
Yeah, I think he entered far enough ahead that he still might have been okay.
Yeah, I think he still would be ahead, but it would be a lot closer. And of course, if it was something like Light Arrows at Fire Mountain, I think that would have been really bad because that would be checking the DRI entrance for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it just definitely paid out. Checking DRI would have probably cost him the race.
Maybe not the race, but
not the race, but it would be much tighter. Like when he did DRC, he could have checked when he did DRI, he could have checked the DRC entrance and chose not to.
Oh, that's true.
Whereas Sledge, when he did DRC, could not, or DRI
Yeah,
could not check that entrance.
Yeah, I wasn't actually paying attention to the times upon entry. I guess I'll check back again when someone opens the door that David just did.
Yeah.
David touched it at 1:19:30 on the receipt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that, like, it was about a minute and a half, and I think their execution
yeah, I want to say
pretty similar.
I want to say David probably gained a bit of time by doing the roll clip, but I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I mean, they were
looking
pretty close. Like
the
they were a minute and a half basically entering Earth Temple. I think it's around that.
Not quite getting. I don't know why that happens. Like, if you try to shoot this moblin at the wrong time, like while it's trying to ram you with the stick part of the spear, you just miss. Okay, so the difference at this point seems to be just under 2 minutes.
So David did pick up a little time.
Yeah.
But nothing dramatic.
Right, there's the first shot. Ooh, barely missing that one. Spending a lot of magic on these shots.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would take a pretty disastrous puppet cannon for David to lose at this point. Which is not to say that can't happen.
Even Ganondorf without...
Yeah, that's actually...
You need to be careful, although he does have 4 hearts, so...
Yeah, I mean, most of our runners are not used to soupless Ganon. But I think once you get through PG3, this should be pretty straightforward for David.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Still deciding to do double crypt with that amount of magic. I don't know if he's going to have enough magic to finish off PG3.
Oh.
Might have to kill some Norths to...
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know...
he will not have enough magic.
He's one magic thing short. So... Yeah, I know in vanilla speedruns, that fight puppet cannon, you typically don't do double crypt because you only have a single magic meter, because you want to have the key spawn to get a magic refill.
Oh,
but able to
get
hook
the
shot up
magic refill
here.
there.
Yeah.
That is definitely important, and he's gonna do.
Oh,
Oh wow, that
excellent.
was. I feel like someone should
Excellent.
clip that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's like, please someone clip that landing. I think that.
No bombs or bait required.
Yeah.
There's phase 1 down. Ooh, having a bit of trouble getting onto the rope. There you go.
One thing I learned at SGL, when they are mashing for this, it is loud. You can hear it even in the audience.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like I've heard that you can hear it even with the noise canceling headphones as a player.
they're not really noise canceling, which is part of it, but also you can like feel the shaking.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Two
good
double
crit.
crips.
Well done. There's the grapple skip and pog slide, and now it's just Ganondorf.
Yep. Thank you both for clipping that. I think you should. That's definitely one to share in the Wii Waker server.
Ooh.
Probably with a spoiler tag, but.
Oh, that wasn't enough? I thought that was enough for one cycle. I guess not quite. There's PG3 down. Ooh, David taking a fair amount of damage.
Yeah.
I think by this point you're mostly safe, as long as you're... Yeah, if you shield, you're definitely good.
Yeah, this is a close race, which is good. You like to see that in winners bracket finals. I'm gonna pull up the bracket so we can talk about that too.
And that is GG's for David, finishing with an incredible 120. Well, yeah, 125.30.
Yeah, which is his PB, his best race time on standard settings.
Yeah.
And both of our runners are going to come in for an interview. We can wait till Sledge finishes up before we do that. But yeah, Sledge also a little low on health.
But he does still have a fairy, if I remember correctly.
He does, yes, because he picked up the fairy earlier.
So I think this will be fine. A couple more quick spins and parries.
Yeah. I'm so used to seeing this with Soup that it's just weird seeing the slower fight.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't have the wherewithal. Oh,
Ooh.
Not quite having enough time to capitalize on the stun there.
Yeah, but that's it. And
there we go.
That is GG's for Sledge. So I'm going to pull them both in for interview.
Hello, GG's.
Hello.
GG's.
So, what did you think of those randomized dungeon entrances?
Yeah.
What? I thought this was normal season 7.
Okay, I need to say something. I forgot to enable DER for my tracker.
Oh no.
And I was like, I had to write like a furious note on my notepad in capitals, like DER is on, please remember. And then I realized when I entered ET that it was all vanilla, and it got a good chuckle out of me.
Yeah, when I looked at the map first, when I worked, I saw like the boss marker on both Headstone and Forest Haven, and I thought like, don't do this to me. Don't tell me that this is vanilla dungeons.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that that's a thing in this game.
Yeah, it basically tells you where the bosses are. All the other entrances are just the other temple.
Okay. That clears things up, yeah, because we had an interesting situation where you were a fair amount ahead after completing Forsaken Fortress, but we were thinking there's a possibility that, like, oh, you're at Windfall, maybe you check Gale Isle for if Earth Temple is there, but if the map tells you no, then
Yeah,
that's definitely a fair reason.
Yeah.
I was checking that just to make sure that I had the right islands. Because the seed was unbelievably fast.
Yeah, I think I now got the fastest time on the leaderboard with that.
Wow.
Because
I feel like
Jim's fastest... Jim has 1:25:52 as the best
Oh.
recorded time.
Okay, yeah.
The
So,
best recorded time,
fastest-
I think, yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
fastest S7 seed then?
It
Recorded,
isn't the fastest
yes.
S7
Fastest one
time.
recorded on the leaderboards, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't the fastest S7 time, but it is the fastest recorded one, which is wild.
Yeah. And even then I PB'd by like 10 minutes or something like that.
Yep,
Yeah, this
same.
seed is
It was
pretty
a pretty crazy seed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you had 2 hinted bows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Barren Earth Temple.
the sword hinted by the Octo Fairy.
Yeah, an actually useful
Oh
octo.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I also-
wrote that down.
I remembered that like 1.5 minutes after I got my final sword on the on I think Dingle Mail it was.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway, thankfully. But yeah, no, I think in the end, I realized, like when I was talking to David, that the decision that lost me the race was just going Bomb Island and Ghost Ship. But in a way, I don't really regret doing that because I was just committed to full clearing that, and the go mode was so ridiculously crazy that it's like
Oh yes.
it happens, and I'm glad I was able to make it a close race, and I'll try and get a rematch in Grands. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
it was a good race.
For sure.
Yeah, at one point when I went to Outset, I thought like if I don't get my hammer for FF in the next like 5 checks when I am done with a little steel, I'll just go and dip FF real quick for the hinted bow. Luckily I got my bow on Islet, so I was able to full clear that, and then the spiral of go mode item after go mode item has begun.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
like 3 items, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, the 2 Triforce shards in a row. Like, you store the first one, then you open the other chest, and it's like, the Triforce is complete. Like, wow.
Yeah. After I voided out with chest search, I thought like, no shield, no sword, maybe shards. And then when I opened the final shard chest, I was like, okay, nice. I'll probably go to Hyrule once I get like my final sword or my shield. Luckily, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, that was similar to me with bombs. I was like, okay, I am just gonna commit to doing door cancel because I know that Miss Marie Spoils bag could be path, and you know, I just might get an advantage from going out of logic anyway. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm going Wizrobe Cave, then I'm gonna check ankle, which I didn't remember that you had to talk to Tingle first at the start.
Yeah, that was,
Oh,
that's another, like, you didn't used to see it that often, but since you start with 3 Tingle statues in Season 7, I know the first time that I tried to do that, like, in one of the test asyncs or something, I didn't realize that you had to save Tingle first, so...
yeah, I even thought about stuff like that while I was rescuing Tingle. Like, what if Windfall at one point is just hinted Baron and Tingle's path? Like, you still have to go to Windfall for that.
But, like, it's an interesting dynamic if you're doing co-op or spoiler log.
Yeah, exactly. That as well.
But yeah, at that point I was like, if I don't get bombs on Wizrobe Cave or Ankle, I'm just gonna go FF. and then I got bombs on Wizroad Cave, so I was just like, you know, Forbidden Woods is all in logic, I'm just gonna go in that direction, Small Island Spiky, then I'll do FF. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm checking mail, then I'm going Angular, then Ice Rain, and then just immediate go mode.
Yeah.
So,
Also, when I was done with the DRI Secret Cave and got hookshot, I was like, I can do Wizroad Cave now. Would Sledge do that directly after? Probably not, but I don't know. I'll still go for it. And when I saw the Spiky, I remembered like, oh wait, this is also part of Paw Print. This might have bombs.
wait, are you saying...
I didn't expect you necessarily to go Wizroad Cave
what?
early.
With a bow or without a bow?
With the bow, just with one singular bow.
Yeah, so at the
Oh.
time that
I went
Sledge
DRI
did-
first.
yeah, at
Just
the time that
immediately.
Sledge did
Okay.
Offering, he didn't have a bow, so
Ah.
only
okay.
hookshot.
Yeah.
So it was possible to do Wizard Cave at that point. Just no.
Do you want to
Yeah,
do
should you
Wizroad
do it?
Cave?
Definitely not.
Yeah. I went DRI, just went for the hookshot immediately, and then it rooted in really nicely later on. Power Bracelets put it back into logic. I kind of had a feeling that David would go outset first. I don't know, the way the bow was on outset, it just worked out. It just worked out for David, like just as
Yeah,
well.
it did.
Probably even more. Which, again, rando do be rando.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome seed.
That was amazing, Golden. Thank you very much for that. That was
But- and
very
I
generous.
could type the button for Randobot to do the
Yeah.
magic.
Please
Oh,
roll us-
yeah. Another thing, shoutouts to like in PG3, you kind of ran David, you kind of ran yourself low
yeah.
on magic from doing double
Yeah.
click, and then got the magic drop, but then did a jump slash down and it hit PG's face to stun him without the need for a bomb.
Yep.
That was really cool.
I was half flabbergasted by when that happened. The thing is, I thought about just letting the double crit pass just to get a magic refill on the keys, but for some reason
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I can just get magic up on the platforms.
Yeah, I know that's the like vanilla speedrun strategy, but vanilla speedruns also don't have hookshot. At least any percent
Yeah.
doesn't. So
Yeah.
David was talking about that, and I watched it back after I was done, and it was like, whoa.
I also
Yeah,
saw
some
that it
people
was
fuck
clipped
it.
like twice in chat.
Yeah. Also, if you were worried about me dying in Ganondorf, I checked and I had a fairy, so it was A-OK.
yeah, we saw or someone in chat mentioned that you had a fairy, just hadn't been turned in for soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both had to do go mode ET with no soup.
Yeah. I was committed to doing safe strats, like, I was like, if I lose this race because I missed the roll clip, I'm gonna be kicking myself, and whilst I can do command melody skip and I can do the ET roll clip, I was like, I'm just gonna go full safe mode on this and make sure that I get the basic things right.
Honestly,
That's fair.
does command melody skip even save that much time if you're taking medley with you anyway?
I think it saves a little bit, but I don't think it saves that much. I haven't actually seen the timing.
Definitely
Should
on the
probably
more
time it.
precise end of leaf pumps. Or rather
Yeah.
punishing because there's no ledge to grab.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other thoughts?
I guess one more thing is I played a DER seed earlier today. It had Forbidden Woods, ET, and FF. ET was hinted Baron, and it had the same dungeon as just swapped.
Nice.
Well, that's funny.
So yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Same on my side.
So with this victory, David now waits for losers bracket to finish up for grand finals, and you, Sledge, wait for the rest of the losers bracket. So Magnus, Lemon, Supercar, Knave to make it over to losers finals, and then maybe we'll even get a rematch in grands.
I'll definitely try my best.
It would
That's
be
for
very
sure.
fun. I'm hyped either way.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and with that, I think we are going to wrap up the stream. So GG's to both our runners. Thank you again to our two trackers, Arctic Fur and Tomotalk. And thanks to Yal for commentating with me. We're going to raid over to Z2R, to ZSR2, which has a Z2R race. There will be another Wind Waker race tomorrow at, I think, 2:10 Eastern, but nothing else. No other Wind Waker races this weekend, I think, on the schedule. So stay tuned. There are other things going on, but thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good night. If you're in the US, enjoy your extra hour of sleep.
Have a good one.